Welcome in, guys. My name is Robbie. I'm a semi-professional sports bettor who's made over $75,000 in the last couple years. Meanwhile, working a full-time job, having a family, and doing a ton of other stuff in the meantime. Now, sports betting can be a great source of extra income if you treat it right. Some people don't want to put in the work. I understand that, and sports betting can just be recreational or fun. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the tips that are going to help, the sharp bettors that are looking to make more money, or just a recreational bettor that is just looking to lose less money and just have a little extra fun. But today we're going to talk about some of my favorite tips for betting the NFL, especially focused on the 2025-2026 season, because there are a couple of nuances this year in the NFL that I'll be looking into. My first tip is going to be about market trends and what we call system plays, where, these plays are maybe the home team favored by 7 points in October with a 10-mile-an-hour wind gust, covers 68% of the time. It's a great play. That information is completely useless. So if you take a bunch of random data and you just, throw it out there, you can find patterns in this randomness. That does not mean these patterns are indicating the future at all. It's just randomness organizing itself. And the people that pull this randomness out and try to tell you that their system has a good win percentage, they are just picking their spots to build this system and tell you to play it when it basically means nothing. If the information you are seeing is related to even past years, like, that information is useless. There's different coaches, there's different players, there's different systems in place. Using, I've seen people throw out stats, dating back to 1995, the Eagles have done blah, blah, blah. I don't care what the Eagles did in 1995. What you really need to be focused on is trends for the present team. So instead of falling for historical patterns, make sure you're focused on real-time information, or information that actually matters, like how the quarterback has been playing, maybe the power rankings of the offense and the defense, different coaching strategies, the weather that they play in, the injury reports, all that stuff. All those types of trends is what actually matters when predicting the outcome of a game, not what a team did 3 years ago when none of the players are even on the roster anymore. My second tip, and this is going to be much different than last year's betting strategies, but focus on the exchanges. Whether you are a rec bettor or a professional sharp bettor, the exchanges are the best opportunities and best places to bet right now, and the markets are only getting better every single month. Now, when the NFL starts, we are going to see a surge of liquidity in these markets. If I pull up Novig's numbers, one of the exchanges, in their quarter 3 of last year, they did $1.9 million worth of liquidity. That's just the amount of money that was traded within their exchange. Now, you fast forward a couple quarters into quarter 2 of 2025, where it's pretty much just baseball going on. This is the dead of summer. No one is even betting. They went from $1.9 million a couple quarters ago to $482 million in liquidity traded through their exchange. Now, during the NFL, I could see this number easily double for them. And what does that mean for professional bettors and recreational bettors? That means more opportunities to bet in very sharp, low VIG, maybe even no VIG markets. So for a recreational bettor, we are going to see these NFL main lines like spreads, totals, and money lines have an amazing opportunity to place bets with pretty much zero negative value on your bets. When you're typically betting on a retail book like FanDuel, you often see lines priced at -110, -110 for a typical spread. Essentially, that -110 number is indicating like a 5% VIG or tax. So on average, the normal bettor will lose 5% of their money if they're just betting -110 numbers all day long. Now go to no VIG, and during the NFL season, by the time the line closes, or maybe even days up to it, I think this market is going to be so liquid that you are going to see penny spreads, meaning you can get a team at plus 100 on one side or minus 101 on the other side, where there's literally a penny difference in between the spread or the money line or the odds, right? So that means that you are basically paying no tax. It's almost free to gamble if you are playing with that small of a negative EV play. Now, for sharp bettors, this also opens it up to where we might be able to use the exchange as a sharp book. If there is money moving one side of an exchange with that much liquidity, that is information that can be very valuable to sharp bettors to maybe find value on different retail books or just predict where the market is going and try to get good numbers down. We can go into that in much more detail, but the main thing I wanted to point out with this tip is whether you are a casual bettor or a sharp bettor, you're going to be finding the best prices on these exchanges because the fees and the VIG pretty much does not exist. Like I said, if you are a recreational bettor and if you want to bet right before game time, go on Novig or ProphetX and you're going to see 1 penny spreads between the odds, -101 to +100. And if you go on to FanDuel, you're going to see the same line for -110 on both sides. Don't give your money to FanDuel. Give your money to Novig, and well, really giving money to yourself because you won't be paying so much taxes and fees. And that means you'll be able to play longer without losing. So recreational bettors are going to just have a lot more fun because they're not going to be losing 5% on every bet. And then sharp bettors, same thing. I might even throw some, degen bets out there. If I'm only paying 1 penny of VIG, it just really is going to open the door. And I don't know exactly where this market is going, but the trends and everything I've heard is really saying that the exchanges are the next big thing. And these markets are going to see such a surge of liquidity that they are going to be so sharp and the VIG is just going to be completely removed. So pay attention to the exchanges, whether you're recreational or sharp. It is the future of sports betting, in my opinion. The third tip I want to talk about is focus on your bet timing and when is the best time to be getting your bets in. Now, one of the best times that I think is early in the week, Sunday night, Circa, which is a very sharp book, they will open up their lines for the next week. Meanwhile, the retail books already have their lines out, so they're kind of sitting there very exposed to whatever information Circa releases. So if FanDuel has, +100 on the Patriots to win this week, and Circa opens up -130 for the Patriots, then once they open up, we go grab the line on FanDuel because Circa is indicating some value on the Patriots, and we're getting a good price on the FanDuel line at +100. So one of my main points of attacking the bet timing is Sunday night openers with Circa. Then also during the middle of the week is very important because you have the midweek practices where injury reports come out. You see which players are on or off the field, and you get some quick adjustments in the lines during when this information gets released. So midweek is also a very important time to be placing your bets because a lot of information gets released when these practices start back up. Now, the third point or third time of betting would be right before game time. And only this year am I going to recommend people bet right before game time. Typically, if you're betting right before game time, all the information is already baked into that line and there is no edge to have. But if you're a rec bettor, like I said, on the exchanges, you're going to find penny spreads. You're going to find spreads that are for money lines, like +101 on one side, -102 on the other. It's basically an opportunity to gamble for free, like I said earlier. So if you are a rec bettor, I'm going to encourage you to wait before game time, right before game time to get your bet because you are going to get the best odds there. And even as a sharp bettor, I might poke around with betting some right before kickoff lines, depending on where the market moved that day. And if I'm only paying a penny to the VIG, might be worth a shot there. So those are the 3 main points of bet timing that I'm looking at. The fourth tip is going to be about managing your bankroll during the NFL season. Now, the NFL is much different than most of the daily sports that are played, like MLB, NBA, like all sports that are basically played every day or every other day, where your money is constantly churning. Now, if you are a top-down bettor, someone that bets with a lot of volume, you don't want to have 20, 30 units tied up early in the week, and those events aren't starting to the end of the week. Even if those bets have edges, it might actually make more sense to not place that much money on an event happening a week later, because during the NFL season, there are also NBA games going on, NHL, college sports. There are many opportunities to get your money down. So don't get it all tied up early in the week. If you are a bettor that can rotate through their bankroll daily or every other day, it might not make sense for you to actually play early in the week and have 20, 30, 40 units tied up for an event happening a week later when you could have bet those units throughout the week on daily sports. So it's really important to not put too much money out early in the week that you would have actually bet through with obviously assuming you have an edge with other sports. So also futures, like don't tie up too much of your money on the Super Bowl winner or who's going to win or make the playoffs, because your money's going to be locked up for so long. Even if that money has an edge, you could have made more money by betting that daily. So think about that when you're betting. Obviously, good bankroll management practice is very, very important. Only bet 1% units. Make sure the money that you have in your bankroll is money you're willing to lose. We have a video about bankroll management and all of the basic concepts behind it. But this was really trying to focus on, just to rewire your thinking about getting your plays in, and maybe the timing will actually hurt you if you get too much money out early in the week. Tip number 5 is going to be one that relates to the sharp bettors and the rec bettors. Now, this is take advantage of your promos. The NFL has so many promos out there because it brings in a whole new crowd of sports bettors. It is the most publicly bet sport in America, and the books really feed into it by throwing you boosts and promos for the bettors to take advantage of. So as a rec bettor, make sure you're not wasting these promos on really dumb, long, parlay long shots that are never going to hit with bad odds. Take the time to figure out if the promo has an edge. If you have to build a same game parlay with 5 different legs, but they're only giving you a 10% boost, that is a promo that you probably don't want to touch. But if you're getting a 50% profit boost on a 2-leg parlay, then pretty much whatever legs you add will have an edge. So identify which promos are good. A lot of them are good if you can structure them correctly, but learn about how to build promos, use your boost to make the most money possible. Whether you're a rec bettor or someone betting with an actual edge, it is important to take advantage of your promos. The last tip I'm going to add is one of the most important ones. This is for recreational and sharp bettors, but it's to track your bets and keep an actual profit and loss statement. Now, there's an app called Pickett that syncs up all of your sports books and lays out all this information perfect for you. So I recommend you definitely checking out Pickett. It is a free app, and it is one of the best apps out there for organizing all of your sports bets in one place. So for rec bettor, it is so important for you to keep an eye on your bets, because number one, a lot of rec bettors just keep dumping money into their sports books without knowing how much they won or lost. This can be eye-opening for someone who has not actually looked at the numbers, but it's really important to see where you are going. Sports betting can be a problem for a lot of people because, a lot of people will just waste their money sports betting. So I do recommend, as a recreational bettor, open up a Pickett account, download all your books, and see the actual numbers, see if there's something you should be changing. Now, on the other side, for sharp bettors, I spend so much time on Pickett because it breaks down each of your bets per market, per sport. There's so much information there where you can see which markets you are winning in and losing in. Typically, if I see a market that I am beating consistently, I will be placing larger weighters on that market. And then if I see a market, I've had a few hundred bets in that market, I haven't turned a profit yet, that might be a market I just cut out altogether. So it's a really important process as a sharp bettor to analyze, the types of bets I have out there and how they are doing. If you're not tracking your bets, how do you even know, what you're doing? So download Pickett. It is free and the best tracker out there, in my opinion. That's going to wrap it up here. Appreciate you guys watching. If you're interested in learning more about the process of profitable sports betting, we had a bunch of videos here at Outlier. So click around on the YouTube channel. I also stream live on Thursdays and Tuesdays on Twitch for Outlier, where I use the Outlier plus EV page to find profitable bets. So definitely check that out. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like down below and leave a comment if you have anything else to add. I want to hear from you guys and what your favorite tips are for betting the NFL in 2025 and 2026.